Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is how to make the nori seaweed sticks from the leftover juicing, right? Such as carrots and beets and celery or whatever especially the vegetables for this one with the nori wrap. So this here was a juice I did here. It included carrots and beets as some of the main juicing parts, and so instead of just throwing all that away, even if it does go to the compost in the garden, we're actually going to use that as well to make these amazing little nori wraps here, these little nori sticks actually, both the fresh ones and the dehydrated ones. Okay, so first of all, the nori wraps here, the nori wraps come in like a dozen packages as well as 100 packages. There's two kinds of nori wraps. There's the raw version and the roasted version. Right, the raw version is not heated above 105 to remain higher quality with the nutrients. Alright, and so first thing we want to do here is we want to make the inside part that we're going to roll around the nori around here. So this was the leftover, like I said, from juicing here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to add a nut butter to this, as well as about 6 or 7 other ingredients. This nut butter here was I made this nut butter. This is an exotic nut butter. Alright, this has got over 6 different oils in it, including hemp oil, camellia nut oil, macadamia nut oil, hazelnut oil, and castor oil, as well as olive oil here, extra virgin cold pressed. These are all organic, cold pressed. As well, these has over seven different kinds of nuts as well, and that's all been blended up in the blender, as well as a little bit of kelp powder and some other amazing things. But so we'll bring it over here, and this is actually the product of that nut butter I just made. If you want to see the video to this recipe, check it out. The top right at the top of the screen there, somewhere at the top of the screen, you'll see a link to how to make this nut butter. Alright, so it's just as easy as adding the nuts and the oils to your blender and blending it up, and you get that amazing nut butter consistency as you saw in the glass container there. Is a beautiful nut butter right there. It's very amazing taste. Alright, and then in order to make this really amazing, not just nut butters here to go in the inside of these nori sticks, we're going to add these ingredients as well to help make the flavor salty and bring in some other healing benefits. Such as we got miso here, which is the fermented friendly bacteria paste, alright, for helping digest the food and keep it nice and fermented with the bacteria, as well as the liquid amino acids from the Bragg's liquid soy product with non-GMO, gluten-free as well. Then we got the apple cider vinegar as well. This is amazing, gonna flavor it up. As well, we got this activated powder, which has over 10 ingredients in it. Which if you want the recipe of that, check out the top of the screen here. It'll be the video to make the activated powder to activate your food. Right? It also then has aloe vera juice as well going in the mix here. And as well, we got the real raw fooders nutritional yeast, which doesn't have any yeast in it. Instead, it's got spirulina, it's got turmeric, it's got kelp powder, and got one more thing there. Anyways, that's all I can think of. Oh, and cayenne powder. Alright, so that's it there. So there we go. So what we'll do is we'll add all those ingredients then here to that nut butter as well. So this powder here, that going in there, that's gonna be a beauty. Then as well the apple cider vinegar. Ooh, got a little bit out in my nose. And the activated powder as well. This has got activated black charcoal. It's got the Himalayan sea salt. It's got Epsom salt. It's got the Dead Sea salt. It's also got slippery elm bark and quite a few other ingredients as well. And then we got the Brags then. Let's do that one. Liquid amino acids, the building blocks of cells of the body. Aloe vera juice, which helps reverse the cirrhosis by dissolving the fibrin tissue, the lesions and scar tissue within the liver, and fibrosis and cirrhosis of the liver. And then finally here we'll add some miso paste as well to also bring a nice flavor and help the fermentation and digestion process in the body. Alright, let's blend her up and we'll take a taste. That's looking nice and thick as well. Yes, that's a beautiful texture as well. That's a real nut buttery. Alright, so I'll get the spoon in here and take a little taste of this. Yes, very good. I love this one. Alright, that's really nice. Okay, so we bring that over here, and now we'll add that then, or maybe not all of it. We might save some as well. But get that in there, and then for the fresh ones we'll make first, and then we'll dehydrate them. And when they're done, I'll show you the texture of those, the dehydrated sticks from the finished dehydrated product. So basically, you just get it all mixed in, and it's going to make a really tasty addition to the very fibrous leftovers from juicing. So this is going to also be really good for the winter, a recipe for the winter, because it's going to give a natural fiber from the vegetables, and you got the goodness and the nutrients, especially from doing the juicing. And now this fibrous is going to make an excellent tasty nori stick. Alright, so I'm going to take a little taste of that. Yeah, that's really good. And that's almost like tuna in a way, a consistency of tuna salad or a sandwich. Alright, we got that going. Now next thing here is how to make the nori wrap. So what you want to do is get a nice plate, get one of your nori wraps out here, and I'll just show you how this works. What you do is you grab a little bit of oil of your choice, in this case a little bit of hemp oil here, and just put a little bit of hemp oil on the bottom here like this. Maybe 2 caps full, like that. A bit of hemp oil or other oil of your choice. Then a little bit of Brags as well, just like that, a little squirt of Brags. Then a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just a bit of that. And that also makes like a focaccia bread spread thing as well. But so you put this now on there like that and soak it all in. It'll soak in and it'll soften it and give it a nice texture as well that's bendable. So there we go. There we go. We got the nice soft wet texture there like that now, which is gonna easily fold up around the little pate mix that we made there. The amazing nut butter, and Now it's just as easy as adding your mix here. This one here can be the fresh one that I'll eat in a little while here. And we'll do that one up. That. Alright, we're back with the rolls here, folks, and I just ate those two fresh ones, that large one and the medium one there, and that was not dehydrated, and it's really good. I really like it. It's excellent. So we're going to make a few more here. I'll have a couple more fresh ones, as well as then we will make some dehydrated ones, as well as some dehydrated crackers as well. Alright, because we still got a whole bunch more of that nut butter that I just made for that recipe. Again, it'll be out flashing at the top of the screen for that nut butter, how to make this exotic nut butter, or get inspiration for making your own exotic nut butters. Basically just nuts and oils. And then we have some more as well of the fresh pulp from juicing. Amazing fresh vegetable juices. So again, let's go through the routine here. Of course, your oil of choice. I'll use a little bit of camellia oil, melena oil. Boom, right there. And maybe this time also just a little bit of castor oil as well. I also have castor oil here. Let me just get it out in dropper form as well. Boom, okay, there we go. We got it right there. Set the camera back up. Here it is. Alright. So we got the castor oil in droplet form here as well. So this is another variation of adding some oils there. Little few drops of the castor oil. It's a powerful healing oil, as well as this one here, the vitamin E oil. Alright, this is also good for reversing cirrhosis of the liver, fibrosis of the liver, scar tissue. It's a powerful antioxidant. The castor oil helps with that too. Alright, and then again, a little bit of Bragg's there. Some apple cider vinegar. And we are good to go. That's our little dipping there. Give it a little mix. And now that's going to give that great texture and nice salty flavor, also to give this more flavor once it is dehydrated. Then it's going to bring out all this amazing things we've put in there in that nut butter sauce to add to our raw tuna, vegetable tuna, raw vegetable tuna from juicing, the leftovers, recycled, and very tasty and delicious, highly nutritious still. Alright, so here we go. We'll mix her in really good, because the better the consistency, it'd be similar to making tuna. To be able to get that mayonnaise in there really good, you basically gotta get it all in there evenly, and then that way, especially for dehydrating, if it's just the raw and you're not dehydrating it, it's not as important to get it all finely in there like this. But if you are dehydrating it, then you really do want to get it in there really good and fine with the nut butter, so that it dehydrates consistently and there's no real wet spots that have too much nut butter and not enough of the fiber from the carrots and beets. So if you get a nice consistency and you roll it pretty thin, you make nice little thin ones, then it should be pretty good. Should be good to go. Alright, so that's about what we're looking for, about that consistency now. All the different colors are all mixed in there, making it nice. Look at that beautiful nice paste there now. Okay, so there we go. And see a little final garnish on here as well, as you could add, say, a little bit of hemp hearts like this, or spread them on after. A little bit of that there, and just mix that in. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we got our little tuna paste. Now make it into just a small little roll, you know, about the size of a toothbrush, just slightly a bit larger, you know, like about that size there. Not too big, not too small. For dehydration, you want to be more on the small side than big side, and especially if you didn't do a good job mixing it for proper dehydration. You're going to go right to the ends there, and then, you know, just tuck it in. And then from there, see, if you really wanted to save on the nori rolls here, you could also, you know, just cut them in half into squares and roll them, or just halves like this. But this is the proper way to do it. One nori wrap, you know, per one, and then you fold it over like this. You can smooth it out to get a nice even stick as well, and then just roll it all the way over there, just like that. And that's it, folks. Now we put her in the dehydrator. We'll make a few more here. I'll show you the dehydrator I got here. I don't do too much dehydrating, just enough to be able to store a few nice snacks and treats for, you know, the next week or two or whatever. So here we go. We put that there, and this dehydrator just has the little one here, so it's really nice and quick as well. Produced a nice awesome result there. Alright, so there we go. We got that one going. We'll make a couple more here, so you're familiar with the whole process again. Alright, so say, how about this time we'll go with the hazelnut cold expeller cold pressed hazelnut as the oil. I get the nori wraps going. Again, a little bit of Bragg's, all good liquid products here, and the apple cider vinegar. Of course, one other really good one would be a little bit of lemon juice, a shot of lemon juice. There's also the aloe vera juice, which is good for cirrhosis of the liver, as I talked about, for scar tissue. Remember the other time we even put in a little bit of castor oil, like that. Just a few little drops of castor oil, not much. It's powerful oil there. Castor oil, just a little bit of that. A couple of drops of castor oil. One of the vitamin C, and we are good. Alright, we got like 5 ingredients that are going on the nori. And if you really want to take it to the next level, then you actually get the nori wraps that are the raw wraps, and they're not even roasted. Or you could go get your own kelp and seaweed if you live near an ocean, and you can even have it fresh wraps. Another option. This is pretty cool too. Boom, boom, boom. Got her all on. There we go. Let's get the little bead going across there again. And these should be done within 24 hours. If you do the right size, the right moisture versus dryness in the pate part, this part, the right size roll, not too thick, definitely, and a good mix up with the nut butters as well. Alright, so this one's a little thicker. We'll be able to compare how a little bit thicker will take a little bit longer, and then give it one more little fine tune there and get it nice and round, and then tuck it all in. Boom, and you got the other one there. And all this moisture in there with all that amazing stuff, that's all gonna soak into the kelp or the seaweed nori wraps, and give it more flavor as well as it all dries up into the seaweed. Alright, so we'll get that one there, and we'll make one more, make our little pyramid, because if you see the actual part, this is the part that's got the little element of the heat there. Doesn't get too hot. So by doing the triangle, you know, it's really efficient that it's doing a good dry just over those areas. So we'll make one more, and then we'll come back in like 12 hours, and again one more time in 24 hours here. See how it's coming along here, and then I'll just make one more, and then the rest I'll just have for the fresh wraps for right now. But as you can see, it's a pretty cool way to recycle the foods from juicing, the pulp from juicing. Alright, and it's very tasty too with that nut butter that I made there. This time the hemp, boom, beautiful, beautiful essential fatty acids. A boom, it only takes a second. Another shot of castor oil, just like that. Real love. Even look at the heart made right there, backwards heart right there. That's the love. Look at that mushroom, even looking chanterelle mushroom. Right, and then we got the vitamin E oil as well. A couple little drops of that magicness there with the mushroom, and the apple cider vinegar as well, right into the dot. Boom, right there, like a cloud. Alright, boom, that's gonna give it some nice flavor, and last just a little tinge of the aloe vera juice, not too much of that one. Alright, otherwise it gets too soupy there. So let's get this one soaked up. And we may be able to just let this one drain a little bit here and set it over here, and then that way we'll have a little bit of juice for the next one as well. Alright, so another line across. And if you like it spicy, you know, you can add like cumin. You could add basil, but say like cumin, turmeric, spirulina, and cayenne pepper. Right? Turmeric and cumin contain an active ingredient called curcumin, right, which is an anti-cancer agent. This is the activated powder. This time we're making an extra activated powder one as well. Is this the products basically I just named here all mixed up? Spirulina, turmeric, kelp powder, right? And some cayenne powder as well. So just a little dash across there. Boom. Now if you don't want to do that, of course you got the other ones, but you can always experiment and try stuff, other combinations. But otherwise the first two we made there didn't have all these extra spices. You could use just one extra thing, you know, you could just use some kelp powder or whatever, right? So this one here, this one's ready to go. Bring it over here. And that will be it for, you know, about another 6 hours. We'll be back and see the state of our little sticks here, dehydrated sticks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching so far. Last thing here is that I'll just make this for the fresh sticks right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are about 8 hours later here on the dehydrating here of the nori sticks and bites here, nori bites as well. So when last time you saw this, there was only 3 in a triangle. Well, I made more here. Now we got 9 sticks and one cut stick into these little bites. Now these bites were the ones to go in last, and they are all basically already done. So they are the quickest and the fastest way to make these, because then there's more air surface area in the sticks here inside there. The wrap is really protecting a lot of the moisture and such, but they are really neat because they make a nice stick and you can just place them and they look really neat, but they take longer. These bites here are basically completely done here in 8 hours, so they're really quick. But you do want to dry them really good too if you're going to be storing them, so the full 24 hours will definitely make sure they are really dry. But they're really good. This one is definitely good to done because it's a little bit smaller. And the sticks here, you basically just want to flip them over about 10 or 12 hours later, or 8 hours. About 12 hours is perfect because they take around 24 hours. And then once you flip them like that, then it'll give the chance for the other side to dehydrate a bit more as well. So that's a little trick on that. And I will taste a little bite here. Let's taste this one here. Excellent. They're good on their own as well, but they're even better if you make them a delicious sauce, like a sour cream made out of coconut oil and lemon juice. Alright? But anyways, we'll make the sauce later when they're done here. Make a little dipping sauce. Of course, you can use like hummus or things like that as well. Okay, so there we go. We'll be back in about another 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever. Okay. Alright, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to bring you back to these amazing dehydrated sticks here, the nori sticks here. I have now it's been how long has it been? It's roughly been about 13 hours now since we put these in, and I did flip them over already once. They are drying up pretty good. I ate one of these sticks here as well to give it a try. It's still quite wet and moisture inside, but this is very good as well. Even if you're not going to dehydrate to the point of such dryness that you can store them, they're also very tasty like this as well. But so what I learned here was that making these little bites like this by cutting them like this is dried throughout because the air is able to get in there. Whereas in here, this nori wrap is then able to block off the air from really getting in and drying it out. It's trying to go out the sides. So this, if you do this technique, I would say the best would be to make the inside to be have the least amount of moisture from the nut butters and stuff, which you could be sacrificing some of the taste and richness of the nut and or whatever you're using. So what I'm gonna do here, but these little bites, they are quick and easy to make, less than 24 hours, and they are gonna be completely dried here. So I have eaten a couple of those already. And then as far as these sticks go here, what I'm going to do here, I believe this will work pretty good. We'll see here. We'll just poke little holes, alright, throughout this, like that, to allow for the air to let the moisture escape. So we'll do the bottom and the top. And these are almost literally also invisible to the naked eye as well, so it still gives them a nice look. Boom, just like that. And so all 4 sides there, both the sides, the top and the bottom, get a little poke like that, and we'll see how that turns out with that. Alright, so as well we'll poke these, and we could try some with just the top and the bottom poking without the sides. I'm sure that'll be good too. as the moisture can go up through the bottom and out the top, the heat. And poke this one, because the sticks are also really nice. They're playful and fun, and they give you a nice, good, solid amount of food and nutrition. And remember, this is all from the waste product, well, that is used as waste product, because it all gets either thrown out, goes in the dumpster, or some people will actually use from the juicing, the leftover pulp. They will use it for also the garden or composting, which is good. But the fact is that the mass majority of this stuff gets thrown out. And now look, this is a creative way to recycle that powerful nutrients and fiber that is in there. These contain a great source of natural fiber from the carrots and beets and things, and it's also very tasty, and it's also quick and easy to make. Actually, the process of making it is simple. The longest part is, of course, waiting for it to fully cure and dry. So there we go, we've almost poked holes in all of them. We'll do this one down the sides as well, and the top and bottom. Yeah, and this should be a great little technique. Alright, this should do wonders here. Poking the holes. It's gonna be a great way. Alright, there we go. Last one here. Poke the holes. And there we go, we got it. The sticks right there. And I'll just eat these little bites here for now, little snacks. And once these are done here as well, I'll post 2 or 3 different little dipping recipes, raw dipping recipes that you can make for dipping these as well. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching so far. I'm Jordan Blaikie, the Liver Flesh Man. We'll see you when this is fully. Okay, so now ladies and gentlemen, we are back here a few more hours later after that, so we're around 13-14 hours into this, and we added the holes, just one on the top and the bottom to most of them. Now they are, what is about from here to here, 1 inch there and 1 inch there. It is basically ready to go, especially near the end here. So the key was those little mini bites are really good, you know, just cutting it and then letting it go. So my new project here was to cut off the ends and make mini bites of those, and then use this nice juicy everything in there that's been fermenting for at least, you know, around 10 or 12 hours or something, if you're going to repeat something similar to what I'm doing. And then here you push down like this, and then, you know, you can even look at that. Then that's even a technique. You could even bring out the oils and everything like that from squeezing it, that comes through those holes that were made as well. And this is all warm and stuff. And then from here we're going to add a fork this time. Instead of 3 holes, 4, and then, you know, we're going to do quite a bit more again as well on both sides, so the top and the bottom. But see, the object is to make it thinner, because if the object is that smaller ones would dehydrate faster, and if you're not doing the mini bite ones. So if you go like this and cut down the sides of this whole thing, top and bottom, and you flatten it so it's more like skinny on one side like that, and then that way, boom, good surface area. It's gonna dry faster in there, more holes. So it's been a process here. I cut the ends off here. I'm gonna also eat these ones, and then the last 4 here we'll make a sauce for these, and we'll see how they start drying out. But they're really tasty the way they are. It's like, in a way, this keeps it more alive and fresh anyways, and it's really tasty too, right? And then the oil, as long as it's below 105 or even, you know, a bit more, then it's also going to keep that living life force going inside there as well. So boom, boom. It's a learning curve here, but you know, the more holes you can get, you could even really take your time and do three punches each time you go over, you know, and get that surface area even more holes. You know, even more so important on the top, I think, so it can air out, but both sides. So we'll do 3 this time here. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to hold its form still, so this could be a really good key to really letting it dry, you know. And there we go, pretty good on that, so we'll let that one go. And then these 2 I'm going to eat here. And then the last 2 here, we're going to just flatten them a little bit like this, not as much. And try doing it maybe this way this time, down the side. And even go right through like that with the fork, like that. Space it out a little bit, like that, all the way through. Alright, that's pretty good. And that way they almost makes them into little mini bites too as well. Or we can break some in half like this and just, yes, make the new mini bites with the holes in them now. And then this will have a good chance of dehydrating properly, because now we know the mini bites were working before, because it can air out just enough. It's perfect. So instead of sticks, you can make sticks too. Alright, and that is a good way to make the fresh ones, and you could probably make those even in 6 hours, you know, have them ready, or even sooner, depending, right? You can also consider cooking them, but my thing is to keep them in the raw state. So dehydrate and below 105 doesn't make the oils turn trans fatty acid into a trans fatty acid, and keeps the antioxidant levels up and enzymes. And the last little bit of these guys. And this one was basically done. It was almost pretty dried out there, so you know, not quite, but they were getting there. All right, there we go. Boom. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here again. I just ate those bites as well as another one of the nori sticks here as well, and I'm going to eat one more stick here as well, and we'll let these ones see how they fully dehydrate here. We'll see how it works with those holes that we put in them. But yeah, I must say the one I just ate there is so delicious. This stuff is great. So whether it does dehydrate, whether we put too much nut butter in, too much moisture, or what, before we perfect this, another key could be making them even thinner, little thinner, small sticks as well. In any case, whether these are going to dry properly or not, you know, they're very, very good like this as well, because they're nice and warmed up. They're all heated up and nice and warm, so they're so delicious. And that beautiful inside when you look at that. So far it looks a lot pretty moisture in there, but it's so delicious. It gives it so much flavor with all the nut butters, and as well as the miso and the brags and salts and kelp powder and all those nuts in there. It's just so delicious, even without a dip or anything. But we'll get into the dip here eventually. I'll eat one more of these. So yummy and delicious, packed with nutrients from all the stuff that is typically not used from juicing, with amazing fiber. And did I say delicious? Alright, until then, well, I won't eat any more of these guys. This will be hard to do, they're so tasty. And then we'll be back and see how they turn out in about another 12 hours. So we'll give it 24 hours. and then we'll see what happens with this, and then if it works, we'll get into making some dips as well. Alright, see you a little bit later. Alright, and we are back now with the final. This was less than 24 hours, and once I cut them into these little chunks here, I just ripped them apart on the sticks. They are now basically all nice and cured. Some of them might need a little bit more, and some of them are maybe slightly a little dry, but not really. Those are just the ones that were not cut on the ends, because they dehydrated for so long. So in reality, if you make these little bites like this, and you know, the smaller you would make them, if these were in half, they would dry in just a few hours, and you can have fresh ones within probably 30 minutes to an hour. Fresh ones that weren't totally dehydrated for packing later. But then here is that amazing sauce there, which then here could be a base for other sauces or whatever you want. You can add so many possibilities here. And then look at that, you got your nice little sauce right there, and boom, nice awesome little snack as well. Right, good little appetizer. And one more, and we're good on that. Oh, beauty, I love it. Alright, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will now make the sauce here. So the sauce is going to have two different variations here with optionals. This will be an optional here, and this one will be an optional. But this recipe here has got each one a unique oil plus another optional oil that could be interexchanged. But this one is macadamia nut oil, extra virgin, cold pressed, and then the almond as well as the Brazil nut. Alright, is to make a recipe there for a sauce, and that's only part of the sauce. But the other sauce that's going to make it unique with the extra ingredients besides the main staple ingredients of the sauce. This one here is the hemp oil, organic, cold pressed as well. And then we got a total of 3 nuts in this one. We got macadamia nut, we got pine nuts, and we got pistachio nuts. Alright, so we got a variety there, and we also got the pumpkin. These are all raw. And then the optional ingredient, this one is the hazelnut oil, organic, and this one here, macadamia nut oil as well. And then this one, but camellia oil. Camellia oil, omega 3 and 6, cold pressed, with a taste of roasted onion and basil. Even though it's a cold pressed oil, it's got a little bit of flavoring of that. Alright, so beautiful little flavor in there. And then over here, if you look over here, these are the actual staples that are going in the sauce. We'll make the sauce here, and these are for those rolls there. So we got the spirulina. Alright, that's the blue-green algae right there, and that's got vitamins, minerals, superfood. We got miso, bring it a little bit of salt, and eat for easy digestion. Probiotic, we got apple cider vinegar. Then we got a little bit of castor oil we're going to put in. We got a little bit of aloe vera juice, and we got some liquid soy. Alright, this is Bragg's. The trace minerals, 72 trace minerals. This one's non-GMO, gluten-free, and you know. And then this one here, we got activated powder right here. To get that ingredients to that one, you'll have to check out the link at the top of the video here. That'll be how to make the activated powder here and variations of. Alright, those are all the staple ingredients going in the sauce. Besides that, no oils except castor oil, and just a little bit in that recipe. And then we have another option from drying this kelp here. I just made this fresh powder from the ocean, from the kelp, the seaweed, and this is nice refined. So we may use a little bit, just a bit of that, not too much. And then right over here, boom! Look at that. We got the recipe here. All right, so we'll just make one here, and then you'll know the variations, right? Or we could do 2 quick ones here. But the main thing is, first thing here is to just have a nice clean glass bowl, right? Preferably always glass items as opposed to plastic, especially when you're working with doing non-toxic practices such as cleansing your body, sustaining that. So then we're going to add all these ingredients here, right? So make the sauce here. We'll make enough here so we can have a good amount of sauce. Apple cider vinegar. Here we got some aloe vera juice, right? And then the brags as well. Then we also got here the castor oil, which is a nice potent one. We also got the spirulina, whatever you want to call it. And then we got the miso here. And just get just a fork, a nice good fork, and then that can be mixed up quite easy in there. Some miso in there, and then the activated powder right here as well. Gonna go in the common sauce ingredients that are going in here, so we can work that miso in there. Just work it in, and then this is also gonna go in the blender now. So let's get the blender going then. We're ready here. Alright. Alright folks, just bear with me here. We're going to get this one going. Alright, so here we go folks. The other ingredient that's going to go in here too is the meat of the young coconut inside this sauce to make it a cream. This is going to be like an alternative kind of sour cream with other ingredients and with these ones that we put in, so it'll be like sour cream texture with the young coconut and all those ingredients there. So let's get this going then. Alright, the last nut butter I just finished making there is still in here as well. We got some nut butter stuff, and we're going to put a bit of that nut butter that I made, the exotic nut butter with all the different raw nuts here, as well as other ones here, hazelnut, pecan, walnut and stuff, and this is what the nut butter made. Look at the consistency of that nut butter there. This is awesome. So just grab a spoon here and I can show you the texture of this nice nut butter to spread on your manna bread. Right? Manna bread. Beautiful. Love this stuff. A mix of oils and nuts. So we'll put some of that then there. Let's put a spoonful of that in the sauce as well. That's gonna go in the other ones. Or we could just make this one sauce, you know, and add all the ingredients, you know, and just make a super sauce here, right? Instead of breaking them into different ones. So if we do that, let's just do that. Makes things easy. And you can always save that sauce too as well, you know, in the fridge for a while, and, you know, try to use her up. The hemp oil, hemp seed oil. Right, beauty. Omegas. And all these nice nuts here. Pine nuts, pistachio, macadamia. Alright. Good little mix of nuts. Even though that was already in the nut butter there. So we've already got all this stuff. Even still, we could throw in a little bit more of these oils if we want. And that's going to help the liver as well, and gallbladder. Extra variety of oils. the camelina oil. It's a saturated and unsaturated both. Alright, so there we go. Anyways, we got a good sauce recipe going here. We'll dump all that in. And if you want to make it more sour, those are a lot of the staple ingredients. If you want to make it sour, like more sour cream, I would add apple cider vinegar or lemon. Lemon is also good. Alright, so there we go. And this one here in particular was kind of a bit hard there and hard to scoop out. So I figured out a little trick with that. All you need is any kind of sifter like this that has an end like that, and you just stick it in there and just go down and come up like this, and it makes a little noodle. And this is noodle texture for noodle breakfast, lunch stuff, pasta, fruit pasta stuff. Alright, so we'll throw that all in there. We'll get a nice bit of this going, so I'll just get a bunch of it, and that's a good easy way to get it out if it's kind of really hard. Now most young coconuts are really creamy and soft inside. Once in a while you get the hard ones, and this is just a nice way to be able to get that stuff out like that and make these beautiful textures, including these kind of sour cream. Plus it's very creamy. Alright, we'll get that in, and let's get this blended up now here. Alright, let's do this. Get the cap up here as well. Use all the parts. And just make sure, one little hint here, if you try not to go around the sides or be very careful, you could get a little piece of wood chunk there. Like this, that little piece there, but this is all good stuff. And so you just want to be careful not go right to the edge to not get that wood stuff in, and that way you're not going to get it. You don't have to be too careful. Alright, so get a good amount of that. Let's see what kind of texture comes out now. Put the lid on and get her going here. Alright. Alright, so there's a good creamy one. Alright, that's good for dipping. And of course you can change the thickness by just adding more of the young coconut, which I'm going to do, make it a bit thicker and use up the rest of this. Alright, use up the rest of this here, and then I'll show you where we're at with that, and then we'll eat